You can't wait for a result or reality to finally present itself in order for yourself to finally be happy. Like, what I've realized is that a lot of us have put our happiness and our peace and just like our enjoyment of life on hold, waiting for ourselves to receive a specific thing. Whether that's a materialistic thing, whether that's a set amount of money, whether that's just like a certain type of lifestyle, whether that's just a girlfriend or an outcome or just something in life. We're waiting to receive something in order to say, oh, I'll finally be happy once I get that. Not realizing that we'll never be happy in life until we learn to be happy in the present moment, until we learn to make the most out of the present moment. And what I've realized is that happiness really is about growth. Like, we aren't happy unless we see ourselves becoming something more than who we already are now. Like, can you reflect on a past time where it was like, you started here and you ended up here, and the fact that you saw yourself get to that position, get to that great position, get yourself to master that area of your life, that brought you happiness. Like, you literally took note of yourself becoming better and better and better and better. And what we have to realize is that that's what brings us happiness in life. Real happiness is from solving problems, figuring things out in life, and really doing the hard things. And, I think a lot of people think that happiness finally comes once they have this set amount of money, or they finally have this various different car, or they finally have this different house or this different apartment on the top of the city. Now, mind you, those things can add to your happiness. I'm not saying that, hey, they aren't good things to have and they don't make life kind of easier or anything like that. Like, believe me, like, financial freedom, hey, it does bring a whole nother aspect of life, because you have that complete freedom to kind of do as you please and just experience new things in life. But what I'm saying is that you can't wait for those things to finally be happy, because if you're always in a stage of waiting, or you're always in a stage of striving for something in order to unlock happiness or in order to unlock the enjoyment of life, then you'll always suffer. And what we have to realize is that none of those things are guaranteed. Like, I'm not guaranteed to hit 100,000 subs on YouTube. I'm not guaranteed to get $10 million in 1 year. I'm not guaranteed to get a specific car that I might want, whether that's a Lambo, whether that's a Maserati, whatever. Like, I'm not guaranteed to get those things. And so what I can't do is spend my entire life going after them while never actually being happy, while actually never enjoying life. And what we have to realize is that we have to find happiness in the process of figuring it out. We have to find happiness in the process of seeing ourselves grow into something more than who we are now. Like, obviously, I'm not where I exactly want to be in life, but I can also take note of, hey, I'm way past where I previously once was. Like, I'm way past that immature version of me who first started out on YouTube, first started out on Instagram, who was camera shy, who didn't know how to make a video to save his life, who didn't know how to talk on camera, who just didn't have the knowledge that I have now. Like, I've seen myself progress into the person that I am today. And through that progression, I've found happiness. Like, I've found happiness in figuring it out. I've found happiness in learning from my mistakes, learning from my failures, learning from different relationships, learning to open myself up to experience more in life. Like, that's what's brought me happiness, because it's allowed me to step into different opportunities I didn't know I would ever be able to step into. It's allowed me to experience different things I never thought I would experience. It's allowed me to learn different things that I never thought I would care to learn. Like, I didn't even care about psych or just like improving people, helping people improve themselves, and just like bringing value to the world. I didn't even care about those things until I started reading different books, and then I started generating different ideas. So I could create content off this. I had my own story that I could turn my pain into purpose. I went through this experience, so now I want to teach others how they can approach that experience. Like, in those moments like those is where you really find your happiness, because you're providing value to the world. You're providing something to the world that's better than just yourself. You're not only going after what satisfies yourself, but you're actually supplying value to the world. Like, that's what's going to bring you happiness, seeing growth within yourself and also giving to the world outside of just trying to give to yourself or trying to provide for your own selfish desires. And, if you're relying on something to finally bring you happiness, then that shows your lack of ability to be okay on your own. And the moment that money diminishes, the moment that house goes away, the moment that girl leaves your life, if your happiness resides in those things, then it'll always be vulnerable to be taken away from you. Like, you have to learn to have your happiness depend on yourself, basically, because if it's not dependent upon you and it's dependent upon others, then it's never really in your control. Then you really have no say in it. You're just kind of fluctuating who you are in order to do your best to basically keep it around. So basically, if your happiness resides in that girl or resides in that materialistic thing, you're basically doing things in order to try and keep them around because you're basically afraid of losing them, because if you lose them, they will end up losing your happiness as well. I'm not saying that happiness is just going to be this permanent feeling and that you're always going to wake up happy, you're always going to wake up satisfied in life. Like, yeah, there's going to be days where you're frustrated, you're mad, you're upset, you're angry. Like, those days are going to happen, but at the end of the day, can you find the gratitude to really enjoy and make the most out of where you are now? Can you see that, hey, I have a family around me, hey, I have a roof over my head, hey, I have the ability to go outside and play basketball with friends, hey, I have the ability to learn something new and get closer to being the person who I ultimately want to be? Because believe it or not, it's not about the destination, it's about the journey. I know a lot of people say that, but if you really think about it, the journey is what you're going to talk about. The journey is what you're going to be most proud of for yourself. The journey is what you're going to look back and reflect on and tell yourself, like, dang, Will, I can't believe you got through that. Like, Will, like, I'm proud of myself for getting through that and not giving up on that situation. Even in the moments where I wanted to give up, I'm proud of myself for not folding. I'm proud of myself for just not quitting on myself. I'm proud of myself for removing myself from that situation, because again, those are the areas where you realize you grew. In the past, I know I didn't show myself self-love. I know I didn't stand on my boundaries. I know I didn't tell people how I felt. And I know sometimes I suppressed sides of me in order to try and satisfy them or try and preserve their feelings, or I was afraid of losing them. So now the moments where I'm able to stand on business and I'm able to stand on my self-love, stand on my self-respect, stand on my boundaries, I'm proud of myself for that. I feel good about myself. I feel happy in life because I know that, hey, I'm growing, I'm changing, I'm becoming somebody better, and I'm evolving in this world instead of constantly being focused on what I don't have already or what I'm without in life or where I want to be and just not being there yet. Because happiness is honestly really in the little things. Like, it's really in the things like just going out to hang out with your mom, just going out with friends and not caring and being so anxious about like how much money you might spend. Going out and being a child again. Like, some people are so caught up in being this, oh, I'm a man, I'm 25 years old, I can't do this, I can't do that. Like, you get what I'm saying? Like, some people think they're too good to do certain things in life, whether that's play on the game, whether that's go to a type of party, or whether that's, hey, go do this immature thing that you used to do as a child. Like, whatever that looks like for you, like, you're never too old to still like be a kid in a way. And when you limit yourself to doing certain things in life because you think there's an age limit to be able to go on a moon bounce or just go out and be a kid again, like go out and play backyard football, like, you get what I'm saying? Like, there's so many fun things and fun memories you could just look back on and be like, bro, I really enjoyed that moment. That moment used to bring me so much happiness, so much peace, so much joy. When you start essentially taking those things away from yourself and tell yourself you can't do those things anymore, you're going to realize you're going to struggle to find happiness. You're going to struggle to find peace in life because you're almost suppressing a side of yourself that is trying to get out. Like, there's a child version of yourself within you that wants to get out, that wants to be able to play the game, that wants to be able to hang out with friends and just like do shenanigans and listen to different types of music. But when you get caught up in this ego of trying to always be this particular type of person, this strong person, this closed in person, this person with all these different guards up and limiting themselves from experiencing different versions of life, like, you'll realize like your life will diminish. You will always seemingly be suffering in life because you're only prioritizing going after money, going after materialistic things, going after relationships, trying to put on this facade and persona of being somebody who you're really not. You haven't learned to accept yourself and actually embrace yourself, and you're constantly fluctuating who you are or who you think you need to be in order to be accepted by the rest of the world. Hey, if I'm not being my true authentic self, doing the things I wish to do in life, then how am I going to be happy? You have to realize that, hey, we all different. Hey, everybody not going to live the same life that you wish to live. Not everybody's going to agree with the life you wish to live, but there's no set one correct way to live life. And when you get caught up in that mindset of thinking you have to be a particular way, or that you're limited to experiencing different things in life, or that you can't do certain things how you used to in the past, then yeah, your happiness is going to seemingly never be there. And you're going to constantly be in a state of suffering because you're not even doing the things that bring you fulfillment and the things that bring you joy. And I'm telling you now, if you're constantly focused on what you don't have, even when you get that thing that you don't have right now, so even when you get that house, even when you get that car or that girl, you're going to find the next thing that you're without that's going to make you seemingly again overlook everything you already have. Like when you really lack gratitude, life will always seem like you're without. Life will always seem like you need something more because you haven't even learned to appreciate what you already have in this current moment. So you might get that house and then you might see somebody else with a better house and you're like, dang, I don't have that house. Now I'm upset I don't have that house, and now I'm striving for that house. Now I'm overlooking the house I already have, and I'm not happy because I don't have what he has. Or he's making more money than me, and there's more money out there to be made. I should be making way more money. I'm better than him. Like, bro, you just start getting out of the present moment. You start disengaging from the life you already have right now, and you start only focusing on the negatives of life and what you lack and what you don't have, the areas where you're weak, overlooking everything where you're strong, all the progress you've already made in life, all the achievements you've already accomplished. Like, if you truly never see the value in your current self, then you'll never see value in yourself at all, because you'll always be valuing what you're without or what you don't have or where you lack in life. Like J. Cole be saying in Love Yours, like, you never gonna find happiness until you learn to really just appreciate where you already are. There's always gonna be a bigger house out there. Always gonna be a better looking girl out there. There's always gonna be a better family, or someone who has a better family situation than you, someone who has more money, someone who has more materialistic things, but you will never be happy until you learn to love yours or what you already have. So stop looking at your happiness as something where it's like, oh, I'm gonna finally be happy when I get this, or I'm gonna finally be happy when I'm finally in this situation. I'm gonna be finally happy when I have financial stability. Yeah, you might be happy in those moments temporarily, or they might bring you a bit more happiness, but like, if you're relying on them to bring you happiness, then you'll really never experience true happiness. So realize that happiness is really a choice. Like, it's really your choice to value what you have now. It's really your choice to value the little things in life of your ability to go out and do certain things. It's really your choice to value the fact that you have a family, value the fact that you have friends to go out and enjoy life with, value the fact that, hey, you can go out and go to the pool, value the fact that, hey, you have the ability to learn and grow into somebody who's better, and just like track where you started at to where you are now, and really appreciate yourself for that growth. Realize that, hey, you've already been through so much, you've already overcome so much, you've already been through so many struggles, trials, tribulations, you haven't given up on yourself. Like, those are the things where you have to find happiness in. It's not in the destination, it's in the journey that you're going through to get to that destination. But I appreciate you guys for tuning into the video. Hope you learned a thing or two. Be sure to join up on the Discord, as well as our self-growth community in the description. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and turn on post notices. I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.